separated your deep ball from everybody else?
My deep ball, it has a little secret sauce to it, man.
Never get too high, never get too low, but just keep moving.
The whole story is Carlos never beat me in any kind of sports in high school.
Questions that we had is what teams have the best cap situations and which teams have the worst, in your opinion?
Yeah. So, I think a lot of these teams that have these, young dudes and a lot of talent, on rookie contracts. So Cincinnati's in that conversation, but I think Denver really stands out. Of course they don't have a good quarterback, but if you look at that roster, it's a really talented roster at so many spots. A ton of receiving weapons, a really, really, really good defense. And they still have a lot of cap space going forward. So they can afford to, if they need to extend a Bradley Chubb on the edge or extend Cortland Sutton at wide receiver, they'll still have room to go. So they're kind of up there in that, really upper echelon of healthy teams. I think the Browns are also in that mix. They have a ton of deals coming up. Obviously, you got Baker Mayfield, you have Nick Chubb, Denzel Ward. Like a lot of guys do need money. Wyatt Teller at right guard. But, they have a lot of cap space because they were so bad for so long and kind of never spent money. So those teams are in great spots.
So as I actually want to know about this one because obviously with the Browns being in the division, I've kind of said that once they have to pay Baker, a lot of stuff is going to change. Right. Is that something that you foresee? And are there other players that you foresee them not being able to keep once they sign Baker to that mega deal?
Yeah, I mean that's when it gets really interesting. So like when you go from, your quarterback, the most expensive position in football by a lot, making like 8-9 million per year to then making, and I know this sounds crazy, but it's true. He's going to start making about 40 million per year. Exactly. I know he's not as good as those guys at the top of the market. That's just how it goes. I mean, he's a number 1 overall pick quarterback and he's good enough. He's a top 15, top 20 quarterback in the NFL. Led him to the playoffs last year. And look, I don't think he's, I don't think maybe he's worth that, but that's just how that goes at that position. It gets tough. It gets tough. Nick Chubb gets interesting. I think they want to keep Nick Chubb, but he gets interesting. I mentioned Wyatt Teller at guard. They're already spending money at right tackle, so maybe they kind of save some money at right guard. And then defense as well. I mean, Myles Garrett's making $25 million per year, and he deserves every penny of that. But do you keep Jadeveon Clowney after the season? Probably not, or maybe not. It starts to get tough. We'll see it with Burrow in a couple years as well. Things get tougher once you got to pay that man his top dollar.